1 tablespoon of yeast. Okay, once you add the tablespoon of yeast, you also are going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar. Now, I know you're like, sugar in pizza dough? What is that? I promise you, you got to do it because it's what's going to activate your yeast.
How much yeast?
1 tablespoon yeast with 1 tablespoon sugar. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to put that in the warm water and you're just going to let that sit. You're going to let that sit for 5 minutes while we do everything else, and it hopefully will get like a little bubbly and a little fluffy and show us that your yeast is working. Okay, I actually just stuck my finger in the yeast, which is a little gross, but I wanted to mix it around, and for some reason, Nina, my sous chef here, did not bring an extra spoon to the table. So I'm gonna go wash my hands for 1 second, just 1 second, I'll be right back. Nina, you mix. Okay, washing, washing, washing. Excellent, because hand washing is super important. If you guys have ever been to Taboon in Camp Moshe, there's the sink right nearby. You know how you gotta wash your hands first? Because nobody wants dirty, snotty fingers in the dough, right? That's just gross. Okay, my fingers were not snotty. I promise there was no like nose wiping, but I definitely stuck them in the yeast, so we didn't want to do that. Okay, now we are going to do the next thing, which is super important. I want everyone, if you are mature enough to do this yourself, totally fine. If you need help from an adult, please go preheat your oven to 450 degrees because we want our ovens to be hot enough for the pizza. In addition, you need to make sure you have a baking sheet to put your pizza on. Nina, where's our baking sheet to show everyone? Come on. We did it already. Here is our baking sheet. And you need to grease your baking sheet. So I want you to take a teeny tiny bit of olive oil, or if you have Pam cooking spray at home, you can just go right ahead and spray, but you want to make sure that you have some place to put your dough once you have gotten it ready. Okay, so we have ours and we already greased it. I did that ahead of time because multitasking, you know, if I have to talk and explain to you what I'm doing and doing it at the same time, I don't know, sometimes I might get confused. So we're just gonna keep going, okay? So you make sure you have greased your baking sheet. Okay, so now I wanna show everyone, check out my yeast. It's really, here, we'll move this down for you. It's like a little bubbly, it's doing what it's supposed to do. So my yeast is working, I hope yours is too. Okay, we're still looking at that. David Kirsch has this expression on his face like, I don't know what she's doing there with the yeast, but it's all gonna be good. I have Emunah. I have Emunah and Ima Ali. It's all gonna work out fine. Okay, next step. We are going to add 2 cups of flour. Ready? Take your half cup measure. And how many half cups makes 2 cups? Nina Bloom, fractions? 4 of these guys. If you have, oh, Adina Rosenberg is holding up her 4 fingers. Yes, Adina has passed 5th grade math. I love it. Okay, so take your half cup measure and we're gonna count. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have now put 2 cups of flour in the bowl. Yay, flour in the bowl. Okay, now we're gonna take that tablespoon again. You used it before for your yeast and for your sugar, but now you're going to put a tablespoon of oil in the dough, okay? So you got your olive oil, and I want you to put a tablespoon in the dough.
Can it be extra virgin or should we use a different oil if we don't have regular?
I always use extra virgin olive oil because I am a total olive oil jap, but you may use any oil of your liking, even if it's not olive oil, canola oil, avocado oil, whatever oil floats your boat, totally fine. I am not gonna call the oil police. Okay. Okay, everybody, mix your oil in to your flour. Yeah, Nina's doing this part for us. Excellent mixing skills, Nina Bloom. Very exciting. Okay, now we're gonna take our water and yeast and sugar combo. We are going to slowly pour it in. Slowly pour it in. And then, oh, Nina's showing you the bowl. Very exciting. We slowly poured it in. And now, hold on a second. Let me just get the rest of it out of here. Like me, you may need to scrape the sugar and yeast out of your cup a little bit, which is totally fine. And then you're gonna slowly mix. Now, you may find that you need to add yet another half cup of flour to this mixture. It may feel really, really sticky. It really depends on how you measured. Some people are very generous when they're making those half cups. Some people don't really quite fill them. It really depends on who you are and how you do your mixing. Okay, so Nina, you helping me? No, you're just watching from up there? Okay, guys, are we having fun yet? I'm actually having fun doing this with you. Woohoo! Danny and David are having fun. I feel like, you know what we need to do next time, guys? We need to have like Moshe soundtrack in the background. Nina, let's put on my parade playlist. This is what we need, right? Don't you think we need the Jewish music in the background? And we could be doing like, you know, dancing as we're making our dough here. Okay, mine is quite sticky. I'm gonna show you. It's very, very sticky. So I am going to add that extra. I'm gonna do a 1/4 cup at a time because we don't want it to be too dry, but I'm gonna add a little bit in here. Feel free to add your own flour if you need. Ava Orgel, I see that you are on this Zoom and I wanna see that gorgeous face. There we go, yay. Everybody, Ava Orgel, I had the privilege of teaching Ava Orgel this year. And when we went to Zoom in March, Ava never tried that with me. She always had her camera on. It wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm too cool to show my face. So yes, we're calling Ava out on that one and telling you. Guys, the rest of you, we've got lots of people here. This is really nice. We've got 20 different devices. So I would love to see everybody's face. You can make pizza with us. Okay, so guys, now you should have a big, lovely bowl of dough. Let's mix it all in.
Should we keep adding flour if it's still very sticky? It's like
if it's very sticky, definitely add more flour. I ended up with 2.5 cups of flour in mine. I added an extra 1/4 cup at a time, but it may be that when you made your yeast and water mixture, you were really generous with your water. Just a cup, you had more than a cup. If you have a little bit more than a cup of water, you're definitely going to need more. You're definitely going to need some more flour there. Okay. Now, full disclosure, guys, this is like, I would say this is a lower sodium dough recipe. If you want to, if you're the kind of person who you feel like you need to put salt on everything, you might want to add a teaspoon of salt to your dough. Just saying. There's some people who like everything salty. Right? Some people who will add salt to chicken soup, even if there's like 7 tablespoons of chicken soup in it. Yeah, David Kirsch is nodding his head. Oh yeah, I'm one of those. Okay, so if that's your jam, then you definitely want to add a little bit of salt. You don't have to put any salt in this dough, but there is an optional 1 teaspoon of salt. Okay, so I now have my chunk of flour here. Nina, you want to hold this one? Okay, so Nina's going to hold the one that we just made, and I'm going to hold my prepared one from before. So we're each kneading. We're each kneading. Okay, so we're kneading our dough, and we don't actually want to knead it too long because we don't want it to get so fluffy that it's like got all the weird things growing out of it, right? We don't want it to rise too much. So now is when you got to make sure you've got your cheese and you've got your tomato sauce and any things you like. My son, Ashi Bloom, came home from Israel, all of a sudden putting corn on his pizza. Every time we make pizza, you're not my child. We don't eat corn on pizza. What you're going to do now is you're going to roll it out on a countertop or your table. Just make sure it's clean, please, because we made you wash your hands and we have such lovely dough. We don't want to get dirty. So we're going to roll it out. If you have a rolling pin, like we do, that's great. If you don't have a rolling pin in camp, we don't have rolling pins. We use our hands. Totally fine. Use your hands, use a glass, use whatever you want, and you can make this in whatever shape you want. You can cut it in a bunch of chunks, or you can make just one long piece of dough here. Okay, I'm feeling very professional. Do you see? Is this not so cool, guys? Right? Now, I want you to know something. You guys may not know this, but who here has been to Moshe Val before? If you've been to, raise your hands. Okay, if you've been to Moshe Val before, do you know Mushy in the office? Mushy folds, if you come in and you're like, I need an envelope, or somebody called me to the office. Mushy's always the one, she sits on the right-hand side. She knows everything. So if you come in and you ask, if you ask Mushy a question, sorry, Mushy's on the left. I'm like, I'm not orienting myself properly. On Fridays, Mushy's husband, Lenny, comes to camp, and Lenny makes the best pizza. Don't tell Beverly I said this, but it's Lenny Fold, who goes to Taboon, and he makes the best pizza. And if you're a very lucky camp mom like I am, when you come in exhausted and starving on a Friday because you've made 7,000 grilled cheese sandwiches for children who did not like the lunch, and you found 1,600 gluten-free noodles somewhere for all the celiacs in camp, and you haven't eaten yourself, it's Lenny who feeds me by giving me pizza from Taboon. Just telling you that as I'm eating here. Okay, so I have my dough already, and here is where we start the fun. Get your tomato sauce ready, people. Take out a spoon, a tablespoon, a big spoon, and scoop. Did you roll yours out? No, we haven't finished rolling it. Okay, I'm gonna wait patiently. I'm watching Don Turok. He's still rolling, still working on that. Catch and Family. I see Catch and Family. I see like half a head. I don't really see what you're doing down there. Layla Davis, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Okay. Okay, guys. So I'm showing you my dough. My dough is ready to go on my baking sheet. This is super exciting. Who knows what tomorrow is? Who knows what tomorrow is? Tomorrow, not such a happy day in the Jewish calendar. Anybody? David Kirsch, what's tomorrow? Tell all our chanichim.
I believe it's Shivas Arba Tammuz.
Correct. It's Shivas Arba Tammuz, which means tomorrow is not a day to be eating pizza. But tonight, if we make all this pizza, it's such a great pre-fast meal, right? Fill up on your complex carbs. Okay, so look, I have my baking sheet, and I put my dough out. Nina, that kind of looks like a fish. Do you guys see that? Kind of looks like a fish. It's kind of funny. Okay, we're gonna even it out a little bit. And you take this one. We have our dough. I'm making it as flat as possible without any holes in it. We don't want there to be any holes. If there's any holes in the middle, that means that you made it too thin, and then it'll burn. We don't want that. So we want it to be flat and thin enough, but not to have any holes. Okay, I'm going to open up my tomato sauce, and I'm going to pour some on. And then, see, we're in our house and we have lots of actual utensils, but Nina Bloom is pretending she's in camp and being given a plastic spoon at Taboon. So she handed me the plastic spoon, and I am now going to, she heard me complaining, so she went to go get the actual spoon, but it's okay. If we're in camp, we're using plastic silverware. Anyway, we're gonna smooth out the tomato sauce. We gotta get this angle right, Nina, so that they can see. Oh, there, see what we're doing. Okay, we're smoothing out this tomato sauce so that it's at the edges of the dough, but you don't want it to spill over. I know I'm being very particular here, but we want the sauce to come toward the end of the dough without spilling over, because you know pizza has to have crust, people, right? Right? David, seriously, right? Yeah? Okay, you have to agree with me, sorry, I have no choice. Okay, here we go. Now, after you've spread your sauce so nicely and neatly, put this in the sink, please, Nina Bloom, we'll wash it later. See, look, I have sauce all the way up to the edge, but not spilling over the edges. Adina Rosenberg, you're an excellent sauce spreader. I've seen you spread sauce in Taboon. You don't overdo it. Okay, Nina is going to put on the shredded mozzarella. She's very excited. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Now, I always notice in camp, there are the extra cheese people and there are the skimpy cheese people. There's all types. There are the no cheese people. There's always the I'm dairy free. So those people don't.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Yes, David, how can we help you?
If I like my crust to have cheese in it, can I put cheese in the crust?
Oh, you absolutely can. That's in the advanced Taboon session. This is the beginner's Taboon session. So tune in next time and we'll talk about your stuffed crust cheese pizza. That's like really intense. I wasn't really prepared for that type of instruction today. So we've got cheese going on here now. Since this is for Daniel Bloom as a pre-fest meal and not for Ashi Bloom, we are not going to be putting any corn on this pizza, okay? I just want everyone to see the finished product. This is so exciting. We have such beautiful pizza, and we are going to be putting this in our oven. Now, you are going to be baking for Nina wants to put pizza seasoning. We have Fairway pizza seasoning, so we're gonna add some pizza seasoning for Daddy because he likes it. Okay, now, secret. You are going to be baking on, we don't have a pizza oven, a fancy pizza oven in most homes. I don't know, maybe you guys do, but I just don't know about it. I don't. In my house, we got a regular oven. Remember how we turned it on to preheat to 450? Now, you're going to be baking it on the lower rack. The reason is that the heating implement in an oven, here's a science lesson for you, the heating implement in the oven is on the bottom. Unless you're broiling, the heating implement is on the bottom, and you want the heat to be closer to the crust so that it starts to bake the crust before you burn your cheese, right? This is very intense Taboon knowledge here, okay? Since we don't have a pizza oven, we are just gonna put this, the Taboon, everyone, in the oven. Nina, you don't wanna put, oh, she wants to walk. Look at this, she's walking me to the oven because she doesn't want to actually put it in the oven. Very exciting. We are putting the pizza in the oven. And because it's not a pizza oven, you know how in Taboon, after you finish making it, you sit down and you're just like yammering away with your friends for 5 minutes, and then it feels like 5 minutes later, all of a sudden your pizza's ready. It actually takes, guys, a good 15 minutes in a regular oven. So here is the point in our special program here where I tell you, put in your pizza and then set an oven timer, or actually pay attention to what time it is. And in 15 minutes from now, you should have delicious pizza. If you like your pizza more well done, keep it in for 20 to 25 minutes. Not beyond that, please, or it will burn and burn badly. Okay, that brings us to the end of our special pizza session with Ima Ali and Nina Blue.
You already played enough.
Does anyone have any questions for us, or just want to unmute yourselves and say hi? Oh, Layla Davis, what you got there?
Just cheese that I'm gonna grate.
You're grating cheese?
Yeah, we don't have like
So cool.
shredded mozzarella cheese. I don't know.
What?
We don't have shredded mozzarella cheese.
Ah, so, okay. Next time, I'm in Riverdale all the time, Misty, so tell your mom next time she should put in her order and I'll drop off
She
some.
did order. It's coming on Friday.
Okay.
What temperature should we put the oven at?
450.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and then it's 15 to 20 minutes, usually done in 15. Anybody else want, oh, hello, Meredith Cohen, I see over there. Just said hello. Ava, did you make pizza or are you just watching us for fun?
No, because we're having meat for dinner.
You're having meat for dinner.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just tuned in because you're a very nice friend of Nina's. And you're giving us back.
Thank you so much. My kids bailed on me, but I'm making it, so.
Oh, you made the pizza? Yeah.
I made it. I was behind the scenes because I have no children with me because they all got stuck elsewhere.
Okay, you know what? We truly appreciate that. We love the moms just as much as we love the kids because
Yeah.
the moms are the ones who bring us the kids, right, everybody? Okay, well, it is so nice to see everyone. I miss
Thank you
all.
so much.
I have a question. I have a
What's
question.
your question?
David Puro.
Hi, David Puro. What's your question?
My question is, are there any ingredients that you put in or steps besides kneading the dough after the flour?
Well, you could. I said it after the fact because I was too busy talking, but you could have put in a teaspoon of salt before you kneaded the flour. That was the only thing you were missing. So you proofed your yeast with your sugar and your yeast and your water. You then added that to your flour mixture with the tablespoon of olive oil. And then once you roll that out, put on your toppings quickly and put it in the oven. We actually don't want the dough to sit out for too long because it gets yucky. Look,
Okay.
they're all covered in dough, but this was so much fun. I had fun. Who had fun? Who had fun? Yay! Okay, guys, thank you so much. So nice to see you.
Thank you, Ema Ali.
Thank you, Ema Ali.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll just
Send
say about 15
pictures of your
minutes until
pizza.
everyone
We
leaves.
want to see.
Oh yeah, guys, make sure to send pictures.
Send pictures of your pizza. We want to see your pizza. Layla Davis, we want to see your pizza once it's ready.
The
Once you
coolest
create
looking
the
pizza will be shown
Rachel,
at
we want to
God.
see your pizza. Don Turok, you're working really hard there. He's like making a perfect circle. I'm very impressed, Don.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and thank you so much, Ema Ali.
My pleasure.
You're the
Have a great day,
best.
everybody. Bye-bye.